Welcome to the Smash Masters podcast, hosted by Stefan Eschi and Nick Priest. This is where we dig into the auto body collision repair field and talk quality repair methods and how the industry is always changing. Buckle up, it gonna get bumpy.
Chink.
It is bumpy indeed. Episode 27 is on the way.
That was me buckling up.
Oh, you buckled up.
I buckled up.
Yeah, you're a safety guy. And Janelle is first.
I like to follow the rules.
What's wrong with my mouse? Hello. How
Janelle,
are you?
Chase, and Alex, you didn't make it first this time. Sorry.
What's up, Chase? No, didn't make it. I don't know what's going on with this stupid thing.
I'll put his comment up, all right?
Yeah. Mouse issues.
That's all right. You should get a cat.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Almost though.
How are you, Nick?
I'm here.
Yeah? Did some dents today?
Yep, I did some dents today. I went
Hey, Randy.
What's up, Randy? Nick?
And Nick.
What's going on? Yeah, I did some dents today. I got a call for a black Cadillac to do some stuff and go down, fix some dents, and then there's another car there to do. So I'm like doing that. That's cool, get all that done and leave out the driveway and realize I went to the wrong Cadillac dent. So
the place that called you, you went to the wrong one.
Yeah.
Instead of the one you were supposed to go to.
Yeah.
So did you go to the one you were supposed to go to?
Yeah, we got that one. I got that one set up for in the morning. But it's Monday. It happens.
I'm sure.
Right. I'm sure nobody's had that problem at all. Could be.
No.
I don't know.
Never.
Yeah.
In case
What's up?
People didn't know, we will be in the Cam Auto booth, at least most of the time, at the SEMA show. It's 33241. It's usually upstairs, and they have a hall usually that's like just body repair stuff.
Yep.
That's where they stick them. That's where they stick us.
Yep. She got her stuff in today for the SEMA show, so that's awesome.
I just saw that.
Yeah. Cheney, what up?
Yeah. No, definitely looking forward to that trip. It's only a few weeks away now.
Yeah. It is approaching fast, isn't it?
Yeah, it came up really quick. I was so mindset on my Rivian training and that trip that I wasn't worrying about what was past it, and I didn't realize that the two trips within a month of each other. So it's like, oh crap. But no, everything's all set up. I've got a pet sitter. I've got everything I need. That's really the main thing for me.
Got all the crap, huh?
All the crap.
Nice. Well, we've got a pretty cool gift. What do you got?
One more thing. What do you got? We got a giveaway going on Facebook.
Oh, you made the post. Okay.
I did.
Last week you didn't make the post, so I didn't know that we were going to say anything about it today.
Oh, well.
But yeah.
Here we are. We're talking about it.
Yeah, let's do that.
There it is.
Giving away the Dent Vision extendable version.
The Dent Zapper.ext.
And then the
Shock Blocker Knockdown. Both Smash Masters editions. So, I mean, there's only two other people with Smash Masters edition Dent Vision tools, and that's the two people on these camera feeds. So if you want to be the third, make sure to head to the Facebook and just do all three things to enter. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter who you tag. It doesn't matter if you like or you follow. If you get one of those in there, you're in. Just get in there and enter. And there's 30 comments on there, which is pretty damn good.
That's pretty
I'll
good.
bet you if I go through that list, though, at least half of y'all aren't following or liking the Smash Masters. So make sure you are.
Go back and look and make sure, please, because this is some really cool giveaway stuff. And
you don't want to miss out.
Definitely do not.
And we'll be picking the winner live on the show November 4th.
James?
It's a Monday. So, James, that's when you'll win that.
Yeah.
All right.
You already called it, huh?
And the dude wins everything.
Like Vince says, follow and like, damn
Follow and like, damn it.
it. Yeah, it's easy.
And comment.
It's easy. Let's go.
All right. So yeah, we do have a cool guest coming in. He's an auto body technician. He started his own PDR company. Let's get him out here. Hey, there he is, Mr.
What's
Justin
up?
Fisher. Nice to see you.
How you doing today?
Nice to see y'all.
Just do it.
Did you work today?
Yes,
Nice. Me too.
always
Me too.
working.
So yeah, right. It's always... How long have you been doing body work?
This is around 12 years now.
12 years now.
12
How did you get started in it? What's your kind of like your story from where you got started up until now? Like you can even say any of the hard, tough times and all the good ones. Just
Yeah.
share all
What
of it.
made you crazy enough to join this industry and stick with it?
Well, growing up, I always watched the Speed Channel, it was called.
Right.
Ooh.
And, Chip Foose and all them
See you, James.
doing all these cars.
Okay, so a Chip Foose
And-
kind of fan.
Yeah, they kind of, well, it was mainly the custom painting that really got me into it.
Okay.
And then that never really went anywhere. And I got myself into collision and been stuck here ever since. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
It's a love-hate relationship, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it definitely is. We love the challenge and we hate the challenge.
Yes.
So
Accurate.
Yeah, very, very true.
yeah.
Yeah.
We love it when the challenge is over and what we've accomplished.
Yes.
That's
It's out the door.
That's
Goodbye.
the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah. So
how-
how did you get started? Like as far as like what was some of your first cars you worked on? How did you get your foot in the door per se?
Well, I went to technical college,
Okay.
and then I bounced around a few shops after that, and then landed myself in the one I'm in now, and just kind of got thrown into flat rate tech, and just kind
Let's
of cruising through now.
let's hang out at the college point for a second. Like how did that go? What did that look like
It was
Well-
after high school, right?
after high school?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes, and I never went to the vocational school for collision.
Okay.
I guess I
Okay.
never did it in time. So I kind of missed out on it, but I wanted to get into it. So I went to college for it. And I'm kind of glad I didn't go
Hey,
to
Jim.
the vocational school.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm probably because you're paying for it out of your own pocket, but I feel like I learned a lot better through the college than I would have through our vocational system. So I think that worked out better for me.
Okay. Interesting.
What are some of the things that you enjoyed through the college? Because we get a lot of mixed reviews on some people say just skip that and go straight into under an ATEC and learn, which some people can learn that way, and then we have a different set where they took the college route, they took all the courses and stuff. I personally did not go to college and study collision. Stefan did, so we have complete opposites on that. So we always like to get good or bads or whatever the case may be, the experience.
I have kind of a mixed opinion of that.
Sounds accurate.
I'm from kind of a small area, so
Yeah, me too.
body shops don't really, or I guess I should say, can't afford to have someone like train someone from not knowing anything.
They think that, but yes, go on.
Yeah, so for me, it was hard for me to get myself into a body shop without any experience.
Mhm.
So my route, it was easier for me to go to college, learn something, and then try. And the college degree really did help, but I'm not any wiser.
That kind of got you acclimated with a few of the terms, the sayings, kind of get you comfortable with whatever colleges teach. I mean, what kind of stuff did they show you how to do? Like at the one you went to, they show you like doing filler work or do hammer and dolly work.
Basically taught you the essentials: hammer and dolly,
Hmm.
filler. I mean, like you guys know, a lot of it is just trial and error.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But they just kind of like gave you a direction to go towards,
Okay.
how to use the tools, how to sand everything so it's not visible once it's painted.
Did they supply cars, or did you have to bring in
Yes.
your own? They
You
supplied
could bring
cars,
in your
okay.
own, but they supplied the cars.
Okay, were these actual customer-owned cars?
Some, depending what
Cool.
courses you were in.
Yeah.
Cool. That's the first time I've heard that. So
Yep.
that's great.
Yep,
That's
they did do that.
that's how you learn when it's real.
Exactly.
I mean, you can learn a little bit working on your own car, but generally you don't learn anything about production body work because you're taking your time. You're making it just right 'cause it's my car.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, that's the
you get
exact
that-
opposite for me.
Okay, all right. Well, that's my own experience, but but yeah, no, it's good that I'm glad to hear that they had some customer cars. That's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, they did.
I'll just say a little story from mine. We had junk
Brian?
cars from the junkyard
Appreciate you coming
in
in.
my trade school, and they taught us nothing on these things. I mean, you could take the window out of it, but it's nothing like a late model car. I mean, they told us to take the door off the car, and we're going to teach you door skins today. So here's a grinder. Okay, here's how to grind them off. Here's where they put the little spot welds on top. Great. All right, we have it off. Now what do we do? Oh, you screw them back on. Yeah, that's what they taught us in trade school. It's like,
Okay then.
and they were like, normally you'd have a new one and you'd bang it around the edges and then you'd be all set. But you guys learned. It's like, and we all sitting there going, yeah, we learned. It's like, no, we didn't know. We
You
didn't
can't
learn
teach a door
anything.
skin without a new door skin.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So it was just, ass backwards. And it's funny to hear stories like that, but all in all, it's kind of sad, because they're taking all this money and teaching us nothing. Liability reasons. I get that. I mean, it's all about insurance, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
what kind of insurance
for
the
us-
school has.
The customers were usually college students.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there are ways around it. You can have customers sign liability waivers,
Yeah.
and they're getting their car worked on for free or for really cheap. So
Yes.
some people are looking to get that done, especially like at a service tech
Yeah,
school.
for sure.
Yeah, that's where you normally see it. But yeah, now they did have us hammer in a door skin. Well, you did more than my school taught us then.
Nice.
Well, yeah. So we went over what got you into body. What is your favorite part of the body shop job? I know we're going to talk about PDR too, but we're talking about body
Yeah.
work at the moment.
That's awesome.
Probably everything before making dust. So fixing the damage.
So you like
Metalwork.
metal? You like metalwork?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
I get
that's-
into the body filler, or
I
if
can
I have to
relate.
grind metal, I
Yeah.
don't want to do it.
So we
can
we
relate.
got we got out of college. We're getting our foot in the collision centers, the collision place, wherever that is. You start getting to working on cars. What does that kind of look like for you? Kind of like just like getting set in. You're getting one or two cars in the bay.
Yeah, it's kind of nerve wracking. Like,
Not now, but like when you were first starting. Like after we just left college, and now you're brand new to collision. You're getting your foot in the door.
yeah, it's very nerve wracking. I feel like, you don't learn everything in college,
Yeah.
and you still have so many questions, but you don't want to feel like a pest for asking stupid questions, but you really don't know the answer. And then, I don't know. You just,
It's a tough area of the career. I mean,
Yeah.
in general, we don't have people that are willing to just share all the information, when needed. So
Or
you're
they're not
sitting
good at
there.
teaching it.
Right. So you have to deal with someone who's not good at communicating, doesn't want to communicate, but you have to pull all this information out of them so that you can even achieve something. And you're probably going to fail anyway because of the nature of this trade. There's so many things that you can do wrong. But so after all that work and that determination, you still failed, yet you showed up the next day anyway. You know, I mean, it takes a special kind of someone, in my opinion, with that culture, with the correct culture of teaching and learning. I believe anybody with attention to detail can thrive in this business.
Yeah,
But where is that culture? You know, it's tough to
Fading.
find.
Yeah, I call it failing forward. You
Yep.
know,
Yes.
each time is you learn, you learn a little something that you didn't know on the last one.
Yep.
But like did you ever was there something that you had trouble with starting out, or something that you were really good at right out of the gate?
When I was first starting, I had a lot of trouble with figuring out highs and lows, determining the difference between high and low spots.
Getting the feel.
Yeah, doing filler work. Like
Okay.
you see the metal, but you don't know if it's, do you have a low spot or did you sand down too far? That I kind of struggled with in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of areas people struggle at. Another thing that people struggle at is lining gaps and fenders and hoods and doors and all that stuff. That's a big deal. And did you ever have any of those type of problems, or you could pretty
No,
much?
I feel like I've always had that kind of attention to detail. Like that, I never really had an issue. I mean, if you fix the car right, you shouldn't have any issues lining it up. I mean,
Yeah.
unless
In
that's
general.
a lie. Unless you have aftermarket parts. then-
Right. I mean, there's skills involved with lining up the aftermarket
Yes.
parts.
Yes,
Absolutely, there is.
making things bigger than they should be, or
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
Yeah, that's a huge struggle for people. The highs and the lows, determining what you're actually feeling versus what your mind is telling you.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
absolutely the issue. Every apprentice or
and don't look
apprentice.
at it. I learned
Yeah.
that really quick.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't look at it. Feel it.
Your eyes will deceive you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then once you get the feel, start looking at it. Like
Yeah.
then you can visually learn certain things. But even then, something will look like, man, if I feel this, it's gonna feel horrible, and then you feel it, and it's like, oh, it actually feels kind of good. it's
Yeah.
like, so I mean, yeah, it's that learning curve for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
for
good
sure.
good points there. So you're how long did you say again it take you to get doing mud work down to a process, like from smaller to like medium sized damage? What would you say?
up, Brandon?
Oh, I'd say
I mean, you're constantly learning and evolving that technique, but
right.
like where you were comfortable at it enough to start shipping them pretty fast.
Comfortable, I'd say probably 2.5 years.
Okay.
Basically, the whole way through the first shop I was in, I was still learning. And then once I was thrown into the flat rate, it's kind of a do or die thing.
Mhm.
You learn it or you don't make any money. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what happened.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's do or get left behind.
Yeah, so you took we'll say what, about 2.5 years, 3 years total before you started. So first 3 years before you felt comfortable at it.
Yeah, I would say that's probably accurate.
And okay, all right. And then you I guess honing in metal skills at that point, getting that. A lot of people will kind of like say, well, I don't have to do the metal work that good. I can just feel over it. It won't be that big a deal.
Yeah, well, that's the first shop I was in was a cave and pave type of thing. And honestly, that just makes the filler work even harder. Why do that to yourself? If the metal is where it's supposed to be, you
Yeah.
don't have that much filler to do.
This comment, David says, I mean, if you haven't found yourself working some long, late hours in a collision shop, you haven't been there long enough, because those will
I've been there.
Yeah, those happen.
Yeah.
I mean, once
I
you
mean-
get to a certain point in the career, you don't really have to anymore. But when you're learning, when you're developing skills or whatever it is, whether it's plastic welding, filler, metalwork, any of that, you're gonna have some late nights, especially if you're
Yeah.
doing bigger jobs.
I
It's
think
just
that's more of a flat rate thing
it's just part of it.
because I never had that.
Never.
Nope. I
Well,
mean,
you're
it's
lucky.
hourly, so you
Flat
had
rate.
you had to get out, so they would stop paying you. They
You're-
basically tell you get out.
Flat rate is the worst.
No, you're lucky. You're lucky you didn't have to deal with that. But like he's saying,
There's pros and cons to both. I wasn't
Yeah.
making as much money, so.
But, I mean, you're
what up,
also-
Bobby Z?
you're learning. But I mean, some of them jobs, dude, you ain't made nothing on. You just like you feel drained. It's fun.
At some point, you have to realize that
You will
no
have
matter
that
how
on the
long
bigger
you're
jobs.
there, you're not making any progress if you're tired or looking at the same thing for 7
I
hours.
believe in that. I believe in that
Yeah.
for sure. Walk away, come back. It'll be a lot simpler. I mean, the same thing in PDR.
Very
Same
much
thing in
so.
PDR. When that dent's breaking your balls, just walk away, take a break,
Yep.
maybe do a different dent for a little bit, and then go back to it.
Yeah. So we got. Let's see. You were in 12 years. I mean, is there anything that you would take away, or anything that advice you would give, like for somebody that's just starting, or maybe in the 2 or 3 year phase like you were, that you could give some advice to?
Pay attention to your coworkers.
What Andrew said.
I-
Sorry. I'm a get to work early kind of guy.
I'd like to get there early, but not super early.
Ooh, I'll be there as early as I can.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Well, you work on some pretty big ones, Bobby. So I'm not surprised. I've seen you do some pretty nasty jobs.
Yeah, for sure.
Walk
Sure.
away to clear the head. That's for sure, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were. I think we might have interrupted you, but you had some stuff you were saying that you would give some advice to.
Yeah. Pay attention to your coworkers. A lot of the things that I've learned, like I said earlier, I don't really like to be a burden on, especially on somebody else trying to make money, because we're all flat rate. I just pay attention as they're working, learn as they're working. A lot of what I've learned is from just paying attention to what the other guys are doing and how they do it. Make
Yeah.
sure it's the right way or the wrong way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can kind of tell if something's, going the wrong direction or not. And,
Oh,
but,
yeah, for sure.
You can also take away something that somebody else is doing, whatever kind of technique, and then make it your way. And that comes with whatever types of hammers, dollies, or you're using, or any grinding, filler, metal work of any kind. You can always add to something that you've built on, and then
Right.
take it to the next level yourself just by paying attention to someone else.
Oh, 100%. I mean, and you never know who you can pick something up from. And don't discount anybody. I mean, there could be the old guy in the corner you think is stuck in his ways, but he might have some little thing that he's just, for him, it's just a quick burp, but it's something that you do that maybe it's making a body line on it. So I had a guy come over and saw me use my dent fix tool to make a body line mark so that I could
Yeah.
put the tape down. He's like, why do you need that? So I just grab my wrist and do this. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, that could work in a lot more situations than my way. And so
Yeah.
I've done that
I
for a
do
long
that
time.
now. So
Yeah.
like I learned something from him. And then there's the people that come in that have zero experience, but they come in and they're like, I just do this. Boom. And it's like, I've been doing it wrong my whole career. This kid
How'd you
comes
learn
in, like, what the hell? So you could learn something from the new guys, from the old guys. It doesn't matter. I mean, it just keep an open mind.
Yep.
You never know where you're gonna pick up that little
Yeah.
bit of information. TikTok. You know how much I've learned on TikTok?
Oh my, yeah.
It's
That,
insane.
That trick with your hand. A lot of carpenters use those types of tricks, where they just take their fingers and run down boards and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I never bought that tool to make lines and stuff. I always used what I called the calibrated finger. Get it up there and just go around it.
Well, I have my dent fix body line tool, which I still use pretty
Yeah.
often. It is nice. I also use a paint stick.
Yeah.
I just drilled a hole in one end of the paint stick so I could stick a pencil through it, and then I just hold it,
Yeah.
and I just use it like that. Or I grab my wrist, just like the guy showed me, like I have with all those tools, I get it done,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even the newbie guys could have some kind of clunky way they're trying to create something, and that's a way that you never would have thought about it.
right.
Yeah.
Or something from college that they learned that is the proper way to do it that
Yeah,
you never went
right.
to see.
Sometimes you can learn something from the lazy guy. Yes, that's true. Yep, because he figured out the easiest way to do everything.
How can I do this without working hard at all?
Right, exactly. Sometimes that's what you want.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
That's the calibrated finger I'm talking about. Yeah.
Try to learn something new every day. Could be from anyone. Yeah. Yep.
Right, for sure.
Self-taught, Bobby Z. Look at all these comments coming in. Look, worst case scenario, you learn what not to do.
Right.
I like that.
Which is in turn,
I like that one.
Like I said, failing forward, you can always learn something. Yeah.
Kirk. We are. Join us at the Cam Auto booth 33241. We will be there at least the better part of 2 days in there. And if we're not there, I'm sure you could pick up some Smashmaster stickers over there. I just had a whole bunch of them printed to take
Nice.
the SEMA with us. So something like 500 of them. So I think we're going to run out quick, honestly.
Probably so. You never know.
500 will go quick at SEMA. There's a lot of heads over there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be there, Bobby. We'll be there.
Thanks for asking.
Yep.
Smarter, not harder, for sure. Yeah, and Bobby, we will be at MTE as well. We just haven't really haven't started focusing on that. And that's a few months away.
Yeah.
SEMA's only a couple weeks away.
Get the SEMA stuff out of the way first. That'll be our next. Adventure evening event or whatever you want to call it. MTE.
I gotta ask, now that we mentioned it, Justin, are you planning to go to either SEMA or MTE?
Possibly MTE.
Awesome.
I wanted to go last year, but I didn't know about it. And
Okay.
Danny mentioned it to me, Danny Hacker, and
Yeah.
it was too late to book it at that time, so I ended up not going. But
Well, Chris is going to try to. Honestly, guys, so I went to 3 trade shows last year, and I am going to SEMA again, but I wasn't really planning on it. I mean, Charles was looking for some help in his booth.
Yeah.
And having that we started this podcast, I thought it would be a good idea for us to go and promote it. But I wasn't planning on going to SEMA. I will always plan to go to MTE. Like, not only am I planning to go this year, I'm planning to go next year and the next year and the next year. It's just a great time. It really was a great time, especially for those of us that are starting in the PDR industry. Mm-hmm. Super useful. You get to meet all the people that you're going to call from now on, whenever you run into a problem with a dent or something, because these people are super, super nice and useful and supportive. And, you just get to go around, see all the tools, put them in your hands, see what they feel like, and try them out. They got panels there with dents in them and stuff, and you can try things out, and it's huge. It really is. I mean, the tools are. That's why I went, but the networking ended up being more important.
Yeah. I mean, there's some killer dudes in the Dent Olympics.
Bring the Dent Zero girls. All right, Bobby. I want to see it. Let's do it.
Yeah. So if you've never been, go at least once. I mean, you'll really enjoy it. I mean, whether or not you plan to go every year or not, it's still something to see and experience. And like you said, you get to check out all the tools that. Especially if you need more for your inventory, you're not sure what to buy or do. all the new stuff for that year will be out. And like he said, great networking and all that. So I would at least try one time.
And education day.
Yeah.
There's a whole day of classes, everything from marketing your PDR business. There's a whole detailing side too. So there's detailing classes, there's detailing tools and demos and stuff. I just seem to focus on the PDR because that's what I'm doing. See you, Bobby. But but there's a whole day of classes where you can learn more about running a business, about marketing, about social media, about glue pulling, about pushing on motorcycle dents, on putting, just all these different things that you could just go in and do. I think it's so that it's $50 to go to MTE, but if you include the education day, it's like 180.
Yeah, it was.
For everything. It's really not that bad for the amount of information you're going to get. And I mean, they give you a free t-shirt. The only way to get the t-shirts go to the education day, things like that. Just go. We're all going to be hanging out and learning right alongside with you. So it's worth it.
Well, that would be, Chris, that would be a good start to your networking and growing your business would be to go and hang out. And
that's where I'm slacking too.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
Well, speaking of your business, you were in collision for 12 years. You got a kind of how did we get started, like towards the PDR venture? Like, what made you want to do that?
Well, we got a very basic Kiko set.
All right.
And had no training. So I was kind of training myself on YouTube. And YouTube always points you in different directions, and it kept pulling me towards PDR, and I'm watching all these videos, and I'm like, man, I could do that. So I kept trying it with the glue, and I'd get frustrated, and then somebody would reach out to me and be like, you can do it. You just have to watch this video or do it this way, and keep going down the rabbit hole of YouTube, and now here I am.
All right. So what about push tools? Did you have any of those? Did you what's your experience with that type of stuff, Josh?
I asked around what would be a good starter kit for a beginner and got an answer from somebody and ended up getting the wrong one anyways. So I have way more tools than I'm ever going to use. And I've just been slowly adding to it with more useful tools and kind of shoving those back in a corner somewhere. But
doing the same thing myself.
Yep. That's it happens sometimes. Last week on the we mentioned about Dent Slayer possibly making a collision type setup for collision guys, and that's really, I think, whether you do PDR or not, back to that point, we was making last week, that's something that I think would be super beneficial to where you don't have to do all this crazy looking up and studying, and you can just get this stuff. And I think he's going to make some videos about the ways to use it, and again, that would be huge for the collision world.
I was on the phone with Matt this week, Matt Boyette of Dent Slayer, and we were talking about that. Actually, Nick, I would like to make sure you and I get to talk to possibly this week, coming up with that short list of suggestions for Matt and James on what tools we would like to have in this body shop starter kit. But I do think I was able to convince them about how some simple instructional videos, not on PDR, but how to take some large quarter damage and get the bulk out of it with those few tools we're talking about. How that would be super beneficial for body guys, because body guys aren't generally looking to do PDR, at least at first.
No.
I mean, so they're not looking to take out that little ding or that little crease. They're just going to fill that,
Yeah, the little extra stuff. We're talking about doing whole quarter panels, blending, filler and stuff. We just want something to get the bulk of it out.
Right.
Yeah, it like David said here, building a kit without guidance can be a really expensive mistake.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yes,
like that's kind of what you got into, and
it is very much so.
Hmm.
hopefully we can have, well, not us per se, but Dent Slayer can have a really cool set, you know, here in the near future for collision guys and stuff. But like we always ask people what kind of push tools that collision guys like to use. What are they using? What are you not using? What have you tried? So, what do you have right now that you're
Like,
currently
what's your
using?
go-to?
What's your go-to if you had to pick? Let's say three tools. What's three tools that like at any given dent you're going to grab these tools and at least start with it.
Stand liner
Hmm.
every time.
Stand liner. Which
I
stand
have
liner?
I have probably about 10 of their rods,
Yeah.
and I'll fumble through a couple other rods, but it always comes back to stand liner because it goes wherever you want it to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Which
always useful.
which one are we talking about?
Um, I can't think of the name of them now. The Razor is one. I use that thing all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
What length is it? The 29, 40?
20, is it 29 or 27? One of those 20s.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
and then the door tools, I also can't think of the name of them.
Push rods beginning with broken. Yeah, I've used screwdrivers and all kinds of stuff. What's up, Daniel? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, 27.
Nice.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, Janelle. I'll see you later. Yeah, that right there is a super beneficial tool. Is it 27 or 37 that you're using? 27, you say?
27. Yep.
Okay. All right.
The raised snake heads, I like to use those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I haven't bought that long neck yet. I'd like to get one of them. But yeah, they're just such a versatile tool.
All right.
Like,
Do you have any like screw on tip tools or anything like that?
yeah, I have one and it's Dentcraft. I'd like to
Uh
get more. It's a fixed handle,
yeah.
but it's a double bend 20 something. No, that one might be a 30-inch,
Probably
but
like a
that's the only one I have.
36.
Yeah,
Yeah, we normally recommend somebody getting a double or single bend 36-inch screw on tip just to have
versatility.
the
Yeah,
versatility to
it is
you know
very nice. What I found with that tool is it's too
nice.
big most of the time. I can't
Those are
get it
good
in the
ones.
hole I need to go into, or
Yeah.
it's too long, or I can't get any leverage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I've never used a stand liner tool, and every time I hear about them, I'm like, man, I gotta buy some stand liner tools.
You do.
I've got
I
some
thought the
and
same thing.
I really enjoy mine.
So I think that might be the booth I spend a lot of time in MTE.
Yeah.
I mean, I've in my mind, I've got I want some little tools, so I don't have many small things. So when I'm pushing dents out of a hood and I'm just trying to go in through a hole into a brace, like I don't have many options. So
Right.
Excalibur's got a lot of stuff along
Yeah.
those lines that I want to get. But when it comes to rods, every time I look up these stand liner tools, I'm like, man, I need that. Like I want everything on this page.
Yes.
that
That's
I
what I
just
do
said.
every single time. And then I put everything in the cart, and it's like $3,000. I'm like, okay, back off, back off. I don't need that.
Yeah. I go through the same thing myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's for sure. Did you stick with that smaller Kiko set, or did you invest in any other glue pulling things, any lateral tension or anything like that?
I
Yeah.
bought the Kiko kit was for the shop, and then I bought a few Kiko. Like I bought the mini K beam,
Okay.
and some dead center tabs. And I do have the 2 lateral tension systems,
Oh,
not the newest ones.
Not the K power.
so you got the
not
golden
that.
rod, the two
Yes.
threaded rod ones.
Yes, that
I've
one.
used both of those. Actually, honestly, the smaller threaded rod one is still one of my favorite lateral
Same.
tension systems.
The other one, I feel like
I
it's
love
too
it.
hard to get the tabs right
It can be tough, yeah.
so that you're not, ripping the tab off.
It
all the
does
time.
rip tabs off easy.
Yes.
I noticed that with that one, whereas the flexible ones seem to just hold on to that spring tension, and you can work it. And I love that little one. I really do. And they just try and steer away from it. Now, I will say also the new K powers are something else.
Yeah.
They really are amazing. So that I can understand how those replaced the smaller lateral tension, but that thicker rotted one I did not like more than the smaller.
Me either.
So
I know it's supposed to be for heavier damage, but I don't like it.
I did plenty of heavy damage with that little lateral tension thing. I thought it was
Yeah.
great. I thought it was the bee's knees. So I still love it. I mean, I don't have it anymore. It was purchased by a shop I don't work at anymore. But it's I've got plenty of other lateral tension tech or equipment now, so
Yeah.
I'm all set for sure. Although I would love a K power. I think
Same.
it's in my future.
Yeah.
They really are amazing.
I haven't been getting enough to where I actually need a K power. Like, most of the stuff I have now, I don't really, other than the CBH 300, that's all I've really have needed here lately. I mean, hopefully, I don't want to say anything too crazy, but I would like to fix some of the bigger stuff here and there. But as of right now, I hadn't gotten to dabble in too much of that.
I have a feeling someone's going to send you a picture one day of something that you're going to look at it and go, damn, that needs a K power. And you're going to schedule it and you're going to order the K power to show up before that job.
Probably, because I do want a reason to have the K power.
You don't need a reason.
But well,
I like this guy. I like this guy.
It's only money.
yeah, I know, but I don't buy all these tools to collect them.
There's some good questions here. So I have an older Metal Medic push-pull bar, and its size is it's in my PDR kit because it fits in the pack out. And it's nice. I added the Sidewinder attachment, so it actually bends out of your way too. It doesn't, with the tension on it, it doesn't seem to want to stay out of the way. Like it wants to come back. But it does get it out of the way. Versus the K power, I'd choose the K power. I think it's a little bit more R&D'd, but I also know a local body tech that's using his new one, the Beast bar. That's like his newest lateral tension, and the local tech likes it. And for the price, I understand. The only thing I'd say is that you can, if you hammer down on it, which it's a Beast bar, you're supposed to be able to beast it. It does leave little notches in the bar, like the sliding part will actually cockeye a little bit and it'll start digging into the bar. So then you have that on the bar forever. It'll still work. It's the only thing I can say negative about it. It works great. It still works past that, but it leaves little nicks, when you give it all the power. Again, for the price,
I mean, it's not bad for that. It's not
right.
bad for that.
And there's some pretty tools. They really are pretty. The Metal Medic tools are gorgeous.
We are giving that away. November 4th is when that will be announced.
Do you remember that, or should I double check?
I think that's what you said.
I'm pretty sure it's what I said too, but I'm just going to double check.
Double check, because
November 4th, Monday, November 4th, live here on the podcast.
Yep, like we do every live on here, Daniel. It'll be it'll be just with the dent vision stuff this time. So
Yep. So Daniel's a big Metal Medic fan, and he has all of them. He says, and I feel like that's a stretch. He has a bunch of different push pull beams, but honestly, Daniel, I wouldn't put it past you. I know that they work great. So there's another person saying they work great.
mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yep.
that's some good stuff.
So those are your go-to tools. Is all three of them you would say Stanliner? Or would you throw the screw-on tip dent craft one in there? What are you thinking?
I pretty much use a mix of all of the tools that I have. I have a lot of dent craft tools, which is the first kit I bought that I don't need, but I do kind of work between basically what works better.
Yeah.
Sometimes Stanliner works and gets in where I need it. Sometimes it's not enough leverage. Sometimes you can't twist it right and it doesn't work. Gotta use something else.
Yeah.
Right.
But most of the time, Stanliner is my go-to.
Okay. Go. All right. And let's see. How long have you been in the PDR stuff now? How long have you been working with dent tools and learning that technique?
I'd say probably approaching a year now.
Okay, so 1 year, and you said that you started a business. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, what is that called?
Dent Pro Solutions.
Dent Pro Solutions.
I like it.
Nice.
I like it. And
know if you can
how's
see
how's that going?
Yeah.
It's going well. The customers are starting to flow in more,
Okay.
and then as I talk to them, they're like, "Oh man, I would have done this sooner if I knew someone was closer." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But right now it's just word of mouth, so if people don't really know that I do this, they don't hear about it from other people. So
Right.
I do
Nice.
need to get on that Google thing.
Yeah. How long
You and me both.
how long have you had the business going?
I started the business officially in April of this year.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
Yeah, you got bring your checkbook with you when you come down, Chris. That's you'll be glad you did for sure.
oh good God, I don't have deep enough pockets for that place.
There's plenty of money to spend there. That's for sure. I mean, it's I went with I think last year I had a very small budget. I was like, okay, no more than $1,000, just $1,000. And then first thing I did was buy a $1,500 light. I'm like, oh no, I can't buy anything else.
Yeah. Right.
We were talking about lateral tension. I just wanted to bring up the mother of all lateral tension systems.
I want one of those so bad.
Is the JVF retention system. It really is just beyond. It's the one I grab every time now. And he's got smaller feet now, so you don't have to put a whole glue stick per foot like you do with the current setup. But even with that, honestly, I set it up every time I need lateral tension. It's just amazing. You can use it to pull a tab like that, but I really wanted to use the ratchet strap and get the bar completely out of my way, and I have the pull there, so why not?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just a great system. I think I got a nice pop out of this one. Yeah, right there.
All right.
But this was one of those the boss's kid's friend had a car with a smashed in door. They didn't want to pay to paint it, and plus it's a really clean old 5 Series, like super clean besides that door. So they were looking to keep the old paint. Little did they know it's actually been repainted, at least the fender was, which I didn't even know until the after shot on this video, because the camera picked up the different shade of paint that our eyes were not picking up at all.
Yeah.
But this came out pretty good, and I can really attribute most of it to that JVF. It took a lot of the work out of this panel. You can tell that fender's been repainted.
Yeah, that's the JVF is the beast of all of them. I think if you wanted one, I would say that would probably be one, especially with the new feet they're coming out with and stuff.
Yeah, they've got new feet that have hinges in them.
Yeah.
Will contour to a body line. They've got feet for the edges of the panel. Just smaller feet if you've got some less surface area to work with.
Let's Justin, he's talking about word of mouth on Facebook. He started doing a lot better after doing demos at car shows live. Daniel Kraus in the comments can also attest to doing that. I mean, I think it hit pretty good for him as well.
Yeah,
I got to do that.
I've heard that, and I would like to do that one of these times because there's plenty of car shows around here. I just have to get out there and
I don't know if it's too late in the year now, if you guys have car shows or whatever, but
It is. It's too late here.
yeah. But yeah, definitely next year I would be sure to make that a priority.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would definitely help you out and getting that going.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, so I only have one more question on my list.
Okay.
What initially, and I know we're backtracking a little bit,
Okay.
but what got you to start with the glue pulling? What got you to say, yeah, I'm going to take some time and learn this, especially being a flat rate technician?
I would say the first time you pull a quarter wheelhouse body line out with just glue.
Okay.
That's the coolest feeling.
Did somebody show you that, or did you just take a whack at it and just did
I
it?
just glued a tab on and pulled on it and see what happened.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Cool. So you're curious.
So
Yes,
even
very.
like I was flat rate, I just spend a lot of extra time learning too. But even knowing that you have to overcome a lot of this learning curve, would you say it's worth it? To break out of your
learn.
normal, way of fixing things and see all this new glue pulling stuff. Is it worth it, do you think, to break out of that and try a new technique, even being on flat rate?
To me, I think it's worth it, just for the simple fact of the challenge. I like to challenge myself too much, and I like to try and get the metal back as close to its normal shape as possible before even doing my filler work to begin with, and being able to watch that happen with the paint still on instead of grind it all down to bare metal and then you can't see where all the highs and lows are. It's just, I just thoroughly enjoy the metal work.
Yeah, and glue pulling
Right there with you.
It just kind of helps that, regardless, like if you're doing, going to try to do PDR techniques or not. Glue pulling does help out in the collision world 100%. It is super cool, super fun to use and utilize.
And you save a lot of time not tearing the interior apart to put corrosion protection on there.
True.
Yeah,
True.
very true.
I have started actually to use the cavity wax again, even after using PDR techniques, especially if I use push tools.
Yes, if you use push tools, it's wise to do that. But
Yeah, you're rubbing.
as far
you're
as the
rubbing
glue
stuff
pulling
off.
goes,
You're absolutely no. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I love. We have a checklist in our shop where it says I've cavity waxed the backside of the repair panels, and I love writing not applicable.
Yeah.
Because all I did was glue, so there's no need. But then I'll go in there anyway. just because like I've got that analness to me.
I don't know if a lot of PDR guys are aware or not, but you can buy those really long wand nozzles for cavity wax, so you don't have to kind of just spray directly at it. The wands with the, I think they're up to like,
and they're 360.
3 foot, 360 around spraying.
Yeah. Yeah, it sprays in all directions, and you can get them. You can get them. I'd say that's
Super.
3 feet,
Yeah,
3 or 4
super long.
feet, and longer than you need. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
and
very much
so
so.
yeah. Honestly, I mean, for a quarter panel, you take off the striker for the rear door, you could probably get the whole quarter from
Yeah.
those holes. So it's not that big of a deal, even if you put it all together, and then you're like, oh, I forgot, you know,
Yeah.
because I do it
Yeah.
all the time, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I make sure it gets it done before it leaves the shop for sure. But yeah, I can relate. I mean, for me, bodywork was getting boring, and glue pulling revitalized my
Yes.
interest in the trade. I also feel like I was really nurtured to replace everything through a
Yep.
lot of the shops I was starting in, and the glue pulling came along, and it's like, you don't have to. You can repair it, and it's a good quality repair. You know, it's like, oh, so it awakened a challenge for me, and
Yes.
that really revitalized the whole feeling of satisfaction in repairing the cars. And
Yeah.
like you, I do everything I can before filler.
Yeah.
Everything I can. As soon as I had to do filler, I'm like, oh, this part sucks.
There is a bit
I
of
don't
a
like it.
curve, like where you can spend too much on something. Like after you get the techniques down, you'll kind of want find yourself like dabbling in stuff that you're just about to grind it off. That doesn't really matter, but you find yourself wanting to make even
Doing
the
thing
smallest point that much
doing things
better.
you have no right to be doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
You know, it's like, yeah, because when you're looking at it through the light, you see everything, so you start nitpicking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when we didn't see it, it was way worse than that. When we were already in mud, you know. So
Yes.
it's you gotta we all have to take that step back and really look at it and go, do we really need to keep going, or should I just give it a skim coat now? You know,
Mm-hmm.
because if all it needs is the skim coat, if you're in a body shop,
It's not
do the
that
skim
bad.
coat.
Yeah.
Do the
That's
skim
good.
coat. Yeah, just go ahead and do it.
Way better than putting fiberglass and then filler and then skim coat over top of that.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I still see that sometimes.
Yep. Yeah. We've come a long way in the collision world in just a few years. I would say within the last 5 to 6 years, it's came a long way,
Yes.
especially
It
with all the
really
new stuff.
has. It
So
really has,
And
really
and
really
cool to see it.
fast.
we can really thank Kiko and the guys over there, Danny Hacker, Chris White, Scott Staten, Mike Mack. I mean, we can really thank these people, and Charles, Cam Otto.
For sure.
They've done a lot for our industry. Anson's jumping in, Anson Collision. They're providing all these tools, and they're providing a glue that nobody else is. The Anson Collision glue is an amazing glue pulling glue.
Yeah, it sure is.
So it's
I mean, we tell everybody all the time as far as Anson goes, order on the app, you get free glue. So,
Yeah, I can attest to that. I just
Yeah.
got that green cactus glue.
yeah,
yeah.
it's cool stuff. It's good stuff too.
Have you tried that yet? That glue?
Not yet. I didn't get a chance to use it yet.
I've heard nothing but good things. I haven't used it either, but I've heard nothing but good things about that. That's not a new glue. It's been around a while.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
People
we'll
swear
see.
by it. Yeah, if Anson's selling it, it's good. It's got a place anyway.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
true.
It definitely has a place.
It's because that they do a lot for our industry, for PDR, and
Yeah, Chris. We've all found ourselves, fooling with stuff that you ain't really got any business doing. I think that's normal in this trade as far as when you start glue pulling. You got to tell yourself stop there and go on to the next. But if you do have time and you do want to figure some things out, it is a good way to get your tap down techniques and stuff kind of honed in really well.
absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah.
You might be wasting time, but you're really not because you're still learning.
Yeah, you're not really you're wasting the shop's time. That's what you're
Yeah,
doing. You're not
yeah.
making them money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I just finished up the latest episode of the Dent Slayer podcast today, and they talk about how putting in that extra time and losing money on a job to finish it and get it done right for them, it's for the feeling of accomplishment at the end rather than the feeling of having walked away from something at the end, you know? So maybe it took them 5 extra hours than they wanted. Maybe they're working well past dinner and all of that. But at the end, they finished it and they got it done, and they kept their good reputation and their peace of mind, you know, even though it took way more than they expected. They didn't charge enough, yada, yada. And that was a real lesson for me. And I just listened to that today. So that's going to be a hard one to drill into my head. But I strive to have that same mentality when I approach my PDR work. It's too easy to just be like, oh, they'll never see that, and walk away. You know? It's way too easy to do that.
Unfortunately, the insurance companies don't care either. They want it done as quick as possible and as cheap as possible.
100%.
Yeah, that's true. And like, you know, David said, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, Hailstorm over here, glue pulling dents, and their techs out there saying they'd be done. But, you know, everybody's learning at their own pace. It ain't really about who, you know, that person. It's just about where you're at. That's your only competition at the end of the day, really.
You can't chase speed. You got to chase quality. The speed will come. That's what everybody tells me. And I'm already seeing it. I mean, I had one and a half hail cars. I say a half because one of my hail cars had like 50 dents on the whole car. So that wasn't really a hail car.
Yeah.
The other car I had was a real hail car, and it was a light hail. It was gravy hail. But the first dents I pushed out of it versus the last dents I pushed out of it, I was much faster at the end of that car than I was in the beginning. So just got to put in the time and keep going. Hey, John.
Hey, yeah, speaking since John's in here, those yellow crease tabs, those things have been killing it. I've had a few.
Oh, you've been using them?
Man, yeah. I didn't get I had some footage on the Hummer that I actually used those to get the damage out. The one that I had, I didn't actually get that crease out with those Reaper tabs. I just finished up the spot, but those yellow tabs are freaking. I
love them.
Yeah, they're nice.
I used them today. I mean, I'm using them in the body shop. They pull hard. They pull real hard.
Actually, I did that entire job with the 3-piece Reaper screw and tip, the bendable rod set. I did that.
Yep.
And all dent Reaper tabs. So that was very cool stuff.
Look at you representing that dent Reaper stuff.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I just didn't get, I didn't get time to film the whole thing, and the one I did have was messed up.
Bryce would be upset. Sorry, he's on my mind because I listened to the Dent Later podcast today.
He probably would, but everywhere I go, I seem to gather a crowd, so it happens.
Yeah. I hear you.
You post your failure. Well, yeah, I mean, you can post your failures. I mean, nobody, at least in the people that we know, are really gonna say anything about that. I mean, you either
they're going to help more than anything.
Yeah,
from what I've learned.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't go out and just post failures, but I definitely don't. I'll post things that aren't like 100%, like especially with body work. That's easy to do. Every year I release the same pinhole video, and every year I get flamed out. They're like, "You get pinholes, I don't get pinholes," and that's just a bunch of liars,
Yeah,
or they're blind.
Get pinholes.
They're either blind or they're lying, one or the other. But I put it out there at my own expense, because I feel like it's good for people to see that all of us do it.
Yeah.
It happens to everybody.
Yeah, and actually, Mike Toledo on Dent Time podcast had I think him and Joe Garcia had an entire podcast about this, about stuff not being perfect or not being, as shower friendly. What does it look like outside of that? I don't know what episode it was or it is, but go and check that out. It's a really good listen.
I have to go through all those.
Yeah, right, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, John. It's ideas from people like you are what make this industry great. It really is. Some of my favorite tools are the ones that techs have just gone out and thought up themselves. Not big companies. So it's
Right.
That's what it is. Everyone makes mistakes. If you don't recognize them, you will never learn from them.
I
That's
like
for
that
sure.
comment.
I like that.
That goes for collision or PDR.
You can go for everything.
Yep.
Anything in life, really.
You can
So,
go for anything.
yeah, well, I am glad you took the time to come on here and talk about your journey and stuff, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah,
we
thanks for
appreciate
having me.
you.
Thanks for
So-
caring about my journey.
So for everybody else out there, maybe we'll clip this little segment right here who's thinking about coming on to Smash Masters and might be a little nervous. Was it that bad?
No.
Ah, right. All right. So not so bad. We got somebody
was-
say
it was
so.
all right.
It's
The last guy
always-
said it was horrible. So
Yeah.
no. No,
It's
I'm
really
kidding.
it's really the fear, overcoming the fear of it more than anything. Actually, getting on here and doing it's not bad. So you done a great job.
Nobody likes the way they look. Nobody likes the way they sound. It's just something that
Well,
we all have to overcome. So
I'm just in a lobby with you two, from what I can see. So
right. I mean, that's all it is. It's just we're just hanging out, having a flowing conversation. So I mean, anybody that I've talked to quite a few people, and they're just like, "Yeah, I'm a little too nervous. I'll think about it." You know, it's like,
yeah.
okay, you know, like I'm not gonna force you to come on or anything
Well,
like that. But
I mean, this is good for me, for my business. I figure if I don't do it, I'm trying to get my name out there, and if I don't do this, it's not going to help me in any way. So
you're
why
pushing
not?
yourself outside your comfort zone. I love it.
Exactly.
That's good. That's a good thing.
I love it.
And
Well-
yeah, Chris, be sure and check out the Dent Time podcast. He's got some really good stuff on those topics you were mentioning. It'll really give you some insight on what a senior technician of all these years of videoing, editing, and all that stuff. How many people has Mike inspired? He even inspired Bryce Kelly. So,
Yep.
and he shows his failures and stuff. So, it's really cool.
Sometimes.
It's really cool.
All right. No, I appreciate you coming on too, Justin. I'm gonna throw you in the back room. Don't go anywhere. We'll say our goodbyes after we end the podcast. Just hang on there.
Alrighty.
See ya. Janelle's back just in
She's
time for
back.
the end.
She's back for the end. Yeah, good, man. Appreciate it, Brian.
No, thank you for coming in, everybody, and yeah, make sure if you're interested in the giveaway we have going on Facebook, head over there to our posts, like it, tag 3 friends, follow us on Facebook. It's not asking you to empty your wallets or anything like that.
Nope.
You know, just come on and give us some love.
Just a few clicks, and yeah, November 4th is when this will be giveaway live on here. So if we had a problem with that last time, some hackers, what were
Oh,
they
a couple times.
messaging people saying you won. That none of that is true. It'll be live on here for everybody to see. So
You'll get a message from one of us.
yeah, don't pay attention to any of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they'll take our name and everything, or put our picture up, make a fake profile. It's crazy what they'll do, just to
all
get
you-
you to click on a link, and then they hack your profile. So don't click on the link.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think most people that come on here only have a laptops, or some of them they would just use their phones.
Oh yeah, no, you can get on with just AirPods and a phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's really it's no special technology needed. So Chris, we'll keep you on. We'll keep you in the. I got a little list going of people that are interested in coming on. So
Yep.
it's up here.
Yeah, I mean, if any of you guys are interested, just give us a shout out or whatever. I mean,
Or if you have a good
you have a
idea
good
for
story.
a topic,
story. That's
we're always, even if you don't want to come on, you just have something you want to learn more about.
yeah.
You never know.
To the car
Send it.
speakers all the time. Yeah. Anyway,
Appreciate it.
don't be afraid to get on here and talk about it. Everybody's got a story. We can all learn from somebody. So
Yeah.
good stuff. But I think we have reached the end of this episode.
I agree.
So peace out, everybody.
Bye, everybody.